Help! My 7-year-old, my 9-year-old is sexually active. When did we lose track of our children? Where did I go wrong as a mom, as a dad? I'm just wondering, are we really listening to our children? Whenever we are raising up our kids, when you held that child in your hand, you had a dream for that baby. You had a future for this baby. But how come you lost it somewhere long before they even got into their teenagehood? Maybe you didn't lose it. Maybe they lost it. But what happened? Before my 9-year-old, before my 7-year-old become so perverse sexually, who do I blame? Blame never solves an issue. But let me ask you, mostly when you're raising children, you're teaching them head, shoulder, knees and toes, eyes, nose, mouth, do. Insect. Right down here, this is an insect. We don't give it its right name. We don't tell our children what it is called. We don't tell them the truth about their sexual organs. All they hear from us is hide it. It's a shame. So they grow up knowing this part is associated with shame and it's to be hid. And that's all they know. Then uncle comes in, or auntie. It could be your colleague, could be your best friend, it could be your employee or even employer. Somebody you trust, not a stranger, comes in. You introduce them to their children. It's the same song. Apart from one part, they will change. Head, eyes, nose, mouth, penis, or vagina. And your child goes, oh, mom didn't tell me, dad didn't tell me. He told me it's called insect. And the guest is developing a rapport and bonding with your child. You're not there. You trust your friend. So, yeah, it's happening right under your nose, right under your roof, with the people you know. And they give them facts about their sexual organs. And the kid is curious because uncle says, auntie says, this is how this function. Can we try it? Can I show you? And the kid is, yeah, show me. Although mom said it's supposed to be hid. And it's like, no. Didn't they tell you? Do you know what an insect is? And the babies are able to differentiate actually between an insect and a body part. So they trust the uncle more, they trust the auntie more to give them guidelines on how their sexual organs function. And they start touching your child, your innocent child. And of course, they're touching them. Most of our children are not really, some are being abused, some are being coached, trained, talked into this, seduced into this nicely. And they're being touched and caressed and fondled, and the baby feels nice. And it's like, wow, thank you. And uncle says or auntie says, don't tell anybody, okay? Didn't you feel nice? And the kid is bonding with a stranger more than you. And of course, when you come back, you don't notice anything. Or maybe the kid will try, because children are children. Mom, uncle said, uncle touched, uncle, and you're like, shh, shut up. Nonsense. Go away. We shout at them, we spunk, we beat them, just when they needed to open up to us on something very sensitive. And what does a child do? They just close up. So it's continuing in the privacy. You are there, assuming my child is still innocent. Another curriculum has been introduced to your innocent child without your knowledge. Some of them are being touched violently with the very, very people. Could be strangers, could be people you're familiar with. But my problem with you, mom, with you, daddy, is When the child tries to raise an alarm, you shut them down. You shout at them. You silence them. And then we start wondering and questioning, what's wrong with this generation? They're active sexually at 13, at 12. They can't do away with sex. Is it really them? Or it's us who fail them? Because most of these children are not as perverse as we think they are. That is where they have escaped. That is where they have found closure in sexuality, on pornography, masturbation. They got nobody to talk to. When they want to talk to you, you shut them out. You're too busy fending for them. Thank you for clothing. Thank you for shelter. Thank you for food. But when I need somebody to talk to, who do I talk to? I need a mom. I need a dad to talk to. I need some counsel. I need some direction. I'm struggling here. But who do I tell this to? Is it not strange when our daughters get pregnant? The only security they have is among their peers. And what's the counsel they will receive? Flush this thing out. Mom, please. Your daughter is calling for attention. Give it to her. Daddy, thank you for working so hard to make sure there's food on the table. But when your son is struggling, being touched, being sodomized by strangers, by friends, bullied in school, they need somebody to talk to. And the best person they can talk to is you. Please listen. Your child is crying for help. Thank you. Kindly subscribe, share, like, and drop a comment if this helps you. But let's join hands and save this generation. It's not as bad as it looks. It can be redeemed. Let's join hands together and save our children. God bless you. Shalom.